Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome to the Love Entrepreneurs Show, starring Ellery Coslet, myself, Gareth Waxel, and many purple hats. We talk all things love entrepreneurs. That's because we love entrepreneurs. No, joking aside, we do. It's to quote Ellery from about 2 seconds before we went on air. A problem shared is a problem halved, and part of what we do is about the fellowship, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Because other than the fellowship of the rings, very few people ever use that word. As much as I'd like to go out to Mordor and fight the orcs, actually, what we're about is all of us pulling together towards the betterment of the whole, and perhaps providing facilities, support, encouragement, the ability to do things that are outside your own ability set, whatever it is. Being part of a fellowship is different from being part of a networking group, isn't it, Ellery?
Absolutely. Listen, I never wanted to create just another networking group. I wanted to create, I'll be absolutely truthful, when I left prison with my £43, I created Love Entrepreneurs because I wanted to create around me a group of people that would overlook and look past my criminal conviction and would give me a second chance, if you like, right, and would actually really touch and feel the essence of the person I really am, and would support me on my own business journey as I put myself back together again. And I needed people around me who would love me too, even when I couldn't love myself. And that is so, so important. So that's what the fellowship means to me in Love Entrepreneurs. We you and I are friends. We haven't known each other, if you like, if we haven't met face to face. I don't think we've actually ever met face to face, have we? No, we haven't. And yet I feel I've known you for years.
Well, you have known me for years, pretty much.
But not like, I mean years and years and years. But the point is, I've met so many wonderful people. And I think many people in Love Entrepreneurs go way closer and way further with people. They stand by people and they hold their hand when they're going through real traumas, real difficulty. It's not just about saying, how can we help you in businesses? How can we help you sort out your head? How can we be a friend? What do I have today that could help you navigate your day better? How can I really create that? And that's, I think, what makes the difference. We are a fellowship of human beings who come together in friendship, in strength, in hope, in sharing our experiences so that others can all learn and become better. So, and really, that's what a networking group ought to be, I think, but many of them are just, and to be fair, people do get fellowship and friendship from them too, which is fantastic. But the core reason for people to come to Love Entrepreneurs is that because it is a fellowship where we share this experience, strength, and hope with each other.
One of the most important facets of Love Entrepreneurs is the big fix, and the only way that works is when people belay their judgment of a person by the way they look or even by the way they present, and just consider the proposition of what they're trying to do, what they're trying to achieve, and then come together as a group to think of ways they could do it better, either with using resources that are available within in the group, or suggesting resources that they themselves will use that might be from without. But the very essence of it is that you are putting aside judgment of these people because you are part of the fellowship. The fellowship, and I'm going to quote, actually, I forgot his name now. It's a gentleman who runs these no money gambling things. I forgot his name. Sotriani, I think. But his quote always to me was, it's basically for businesses who want to celebrate something, you'll get pretend money, monopoly money, and have a good time gambling and playing poker. But his said was, the fellowship is greater than the game. The fellowship is greater than the reward. It's about everybody pulling together, everybody trying to achieve together.
And I think this is the thing, because if you think about the journey that entrepreneurs are on, certainly my journey, you know, when I made, you know, my first money, you know, I was very lucky because I had money to put into my business, had a lot of money to, you know, so I had a lot of money to put into my business. So it was very difficult to fail in many respects. But having come out of prison, I had to start again on nothing. You know, and I built everything back up on air. You know, my trigger instinct is always, you know, can it be done? You know, can something be created from nothing? That's something that attracts me hugely. And I find that so many entrepreneurs get very depressed, get very anxious, but it's that spirit of, come on, we are doing it together. We are a one. You are not on that boat. You're not on the sailboat. You're on the boat together. We're all on this boat together. And if we only collaborated more and helped more, and I mean, you know, I've you know, lent money to people. I have helped people out of really difficult situations. Other people have helped me out of difficult situations. I have seen people step up. I've seen you, Gareth, step up in several big fixes where you've said to people, hey, I'm an expert in LinkedIn. You know, I will give you 2 or 3 free sessions. You know, you don't have to do things like that for people.
But I know that, but I'll tell you what, I've taken inspiration from you on that. There's been a number of times that you've helped me either with directions or support, or sometimes just plain encouragement. And it's so lonely being an entrepreneur. It can be so lonely because the only counsel that you can really take most of the time is your own. And if you just have no idea about whether something is potentially going to succeed or fail, then all you've got is your own little talking shop, your own little talking bubble. You're telling yourself it's going to, and then you start self-doubt and then self-deprecation. And before you know it, you've got that imposter syndrome. Well, I shouldn't be doing this here anyway. I don't really know anything.
They do say, don't they, that the longest journey is the journey from the head to the heart. You know, and when something is all embodied, so, you know, you're feeling it both from your head and from your heart, the journey of an entrepreneur isn't just about having a great business idea. It's having the power and the spirit and the energy to power through against all odds. And sometimes you have to, you know, you have to plug into that battery pack, which is energy. And that's all the sort of stuff that we do at Love Entrepreneurs, because it's not just about the good business idea. You know, I keep saying this. Einstein said, you know, 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. And, you know, I think that's probably true. You know, we've all had the aha moment, but then the hard work starts. You've got to put that into action. And that's where, you know, the mind kicks in, the imposter syndrome, you can't do it, the bills start piling up, oh my gosh, panic takes over. And you need some people to come and a place to come that's going to truly ground you and go, forget all of that. I mean, I'll be truthful. I mean, I'm not going to say what it is at the moment, but I have experienced a miracle today, a miracle which will change my life probably beyond, you know, I've been working easy now, Tiger. You know, and but it proves to me that all the hard work and the sweat and the tears and the this, that, and the other, and the financial hardship has paid off. Because the journey is a journey. You know, you've got to enjoy that journey. And I keep saying that to myself because I forget sometimes. Make sure you go to the gym. Make sure you eat properly. Make sure you retain contacts with your friends. Make sure you laugh. And make sure you do 2 things every single day. This is hard. 2 things every single day to help somebody else. But you can't tell anyone about it.
Yes, that's the thing. You know, that is absolutely it. That is absolutely it.
How the universe rewards you for that. Just try it as an experiment, folks out there. Just try it. I promise you, you will see the rewards coming in from the universe, but you cannot tell a soul. Nobody,
I
not
do,
no boyfriend, girlfriend.
I do one random act of kindness every day, and I try and make it as random as possible. It's everything from putting £5 in the hat of a beggar, all the way through to ringing up someone that I haven't spoken to in ages, who I know is suffering, and giving them some support. Whatever it is, once a day, I try and do something that takes me out of my comfort zone. That means I'm actually going to try and help someone without expectation. Do you know what this is going to make me no friends, but I'm going to say it straight. I don't like the concept of reciprocity. Now, let me explain. Right. So reciprocity means if I do you something, you are duty bound to do something back for me. And I don't think that's fair. And the reason why I don't think that's fair is because half the time, you didn't want that person to do that thing for you. They offered it and said, right, I'm going to do it for you because you need it. And it's like, hang on a moment, but I didn't need it now, or I didn't want it, no offense, from you. And the trouble is, once they've done it, you then have this kind of, it's almost like mobsters or the mafia. I've done you a favor, and now you owe me a favor for life. I don't believe in that. I think you should do things without expectation that you're going to get something back in return.
Okay, so here's the thing, right?
The universe delivers, right?
I've got a saying, right? An expectation is a resentment under construction.
So true.
So true, right? But this is actually our inner ego, the inner child talking when we're like that. How often we all go into the poor me, gosh, look what I've done for you. I've done so much for you. Can't you be appreciative? But the truth of the matter is that's not how we work at Love Entrepreneurs. The idea, you're absolutely correct. You should give because it gives you joy to give. You should not have any expectation of getting anything back. That's not why you do it. You do it because it gives you joy to be able to help somebody else. That's the point. And, it's a misconstrued concept, I think, because you don't do it because you expect something back. But here's the problem, right? When you're sitting, and this is so I hate networking groups where you've got takers, right? And the types, they're take. It's always about them and all the people that say, oh, I came and I didn't get any business out of it. Well, what did you give? I mean, BNI has that great phrase, give as gain. Give us game. I mean, but it's the same sort of thing. The idea is that you give, not with an expectation to receive. But what happens is the universe will reward you. It just works like that. That's what I said.
I have to pull you back on that. All the BNIs I've been involved with, if somebody gave something to you, he would expect something, or she would expect something in return.
This is not a BNI.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. There are amazing BNIs out there, and I think they're all dependent on who happens to be in there. But I'm not coating BNI as a whole. As an organisation, it's well versed. Everybody knows about BNI. That's not the point. The point is that if you are going to give support to someone, do it open-handedly. Don't do it with the idea that if I give you this support, I'm going to get it back. And that's why I trumpet about the fellowship that I get from Love Entrepreneurs, because I mean, Ella is one of my closest mates now. We've never met. We talk often. I support what she does. She bloody supports what I do, and the expectation is that together we'll rise.
Yeah. Because what happens also in Love Entrepreneurs is that we all tend to use each other's services in some way, shape or form, or we're encouraged to do so. We collaborate and we say, okay, well, if you don't like that person's services, or if we don't have something, then bring somebody else into the fold.
Exactly.
Hello, bring somebody else into the fold.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I've made a lot of money in business previously, and I'm all about it. I mean, I made a lot of money in properties, and people used to say to me at the time, they used to say, well, why don't you do courses on this? You could charge £20,000 per head. And I'm like, I couldn't, with all due conscience, charge £20,000 to somebody to pass on information that was freely given to me once upon a time.
Yeah.
So I spend my time now and, passing information on to others of how I've built my businesses, how I operate, because I think this information is freely available, because I get much more pleasure out of seeing them grow their businesses. Because I know that when they grow their businesses, they're going to tell other people to come into our fellowship. This fellowship actually has transformed my life, because it's helped me grow my business. It's given me stability, both mentally, it's given me emotional and business clarity where I had none previously. It's taken me out of, deep emotional stress sometimes, because I know who to talk to. And people have always been there, and they're there for each other. And nothing makes my heart sing more than when I see people using the fellowship, using the currency that we many of us use, which is silver. When we don't have to use cash, we can use this alternative currency.
Guys, before you get confused, she doesn't mean silver bars of silver. SILVA. It's a parallel currency that helps you use up your excess capacity and not miss out on potential business.
Yes, and also instead of using, basically, because I don't like using cash, I always used to do the same in property. It was always OPM, other people's money. So I'm all in favour of all of that sort of stuff. So, but it's about that, sometimes that emotional journey that we go on, that solitude, that it's much deeper than, oh shit, I don't know which way to turn now. It's like something isn't right within me. I haven't got the energy anymore. Nothing's going right. Everything's going wrong. I've got usually the fear of financial insecurity, right? Huge one for us, as entrepreneurs, massive. I've got the bills piling up, got no clients. What am I doing? And getting people out, who are stuck in reverse, back into forward gear.
Well, it's the thing is, sometimes people are too prone to pedaling backwards at the least provocation. Without thinking through not just the benefits, but what really is their short-term exposure. It might be very little to gain such huge bonuses. But anyway, look, we're going off on a tangent. We came here today to talk about the fellowship, and I'm hoping you guys can see from the passionate way that we talk about it that it's meaningful. Can you see that on the screen there's a QR code? The first stage, really, if you really want to enjoy the benefits of Love Entrepreneurs, and let me tell you how much this costs. Big fat zero is that you go to the Big Fix. So please scan that code, come along. You'll get people dispassionately trying to find ways in which you can make your ideas absolutely succeed. And then do come along to a Love Entrepreneurs networking meeting, which is just more about trying to find out the ways in which people can get to know each other so that we can build that trust level so that you can then think, well, maybe they are the right people. And it's, I would say, the first part of your journey will be scan that code and let's get talking to you. Let's hear all about your business. Let's find out the ways that we can communicate with you.
If you just want to, let's move the ordinary to the truly extraordinary, because it's not so much what you know, it's what you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. I know people say it all the time, but give me a call. My number's on the number's on the QR code. And if you've got a business and you want to grow it and you want to sort of reach the stars, come and have a chat. It's all possible.
We're not focusing on trying to charge you money. We're focusing on trying to get you into the groove of hearing other people's opinions and then pulling back from that to try and make a journey that can be a quantum leap in your imagination, so you can actually move from where you are to where you want to be. And on that note, thank you so much, Ellery. She's the brainchild behind of entrepreneurs. And I'm sorry, I'm going to do this to you now. And Gower for helping make sure this all runs well. And thank you all for watching. And until next week, remember, this is Love Entrepreneurs, and we love entrepreneurs. Take care. Bye-bye now.